Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and today I've got Canvas Workspace Workshop for you. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create personalized card in that software for ScanNCut machine. And we're going to create that card for a teenage boy. So let's open Canvas Workspace and create that beautiful personalized card. Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and I hope you have absolutely fabulous day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create Brother Canvas Workspace to create a personalized card. And trust me, it is very simple. So first, what I'm going to do on the left hand side, I'm going to go to Shapes and I'm going to create a square that measures 7 inches. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Dragging from the corner, I've got 5, 6, and 7. And that will be my guide, how big the card is going to be. I'm going to color it in with very light yellow. So here is my base. When this is ready, I'm going to go to T and I'm going to write the name of the recipient. I'm going to click here and write the name Jordan. I really like that font, and here you can actually see is Antique Oakland. And I think this is perfect, especially for those type of cards. So now I want to put that name on a curve. So what you have to do is to go to Shapes again. Now we need to choose Circle. When this is ready, I'm going to make it slightly bigger because I want a bigger curve. When I'm happy with it, I'm going to click on that circle, hold my shift key, and click on Jordan as well. So I've got the circle and the name. When this is ready, I'm going to go on the right hand side to that square edit panel. And at the very bottom, we've got that text. Fit to path. Let's click on it. And as you can see, I've got the name here. There is a small cross, which I'm going to hold and drag where I want the name on the card. So I like it so far. Okay, here it is. Maybe I can put it a little bit like here. Yeah. So it's nice and even. When I'm happy with it, I can make it even bigger. Okay, so here it is. So I've got the name of the recipient on the curve, and that's exactly what I wanted. You can always make it smaller or bigger. The choice is absolutely yours. Okay, let's put it where I want. So I'm going to click on the name, click on the shift, and then on the right, we've got the align tool. So I'm going to click in the middle one, center. Okay, here it is. So I'm going to hold those two together and drag here. So they are on my Canvas workspace. I'm going to cut later on. So now I'm going to create an offset for the name. So I'm going to click on the name and we need to convert to shapes. When this is ready, I'm going to offset it. So I need outward and I'm going to use 3 mil. Let's see how that goes. Okay, I'm pretty happy, but as you can see, I'm going to have a problem here. So let's do Ctrl Z. Let's do it again. I'm going to offset it, and this time I'm going to have 3.2 millimeters. Okay, now it's better. I don't have a gap here, and I like it. So I'm going to hold the name and the offset, click on both, and I'm going to put them exactly in the middle, where I want. If it's tricky to highlight the word, you can go to the layers panel here, and I'm going to find my text and the text I created, hold the shift key, put them together, and then with my right click, I'm going to put group, so they will always stay together. Okay, when I'm happy with it, then I can highlight the text and the square using shift key, hold them together, and then let's distribute them exactly where we want, center. Okay, now I'm happy with it. As you can see, this card is for a boy. So what I'm going to do, now is to draw a computer. Super simple. So if you've never ever tried this one, it is super simple. So go to the shapes and I'm going to find that square. I'm going to move it to the middle, make it slightly wider, and let's do it this way. Okay, when I'm happy with it, I'm going to use the offset setting, and this time we're going to go inward. Let's see how that looks. Okay, I'm happy with it. And you know what? Let's actually start coloring some of those elements. It'll be very easy later on. So this one, the bigger, let's say, rectangle, we're going to color with black because that will be the color of the computer. The smaller one, let's create a gray color. Okay, so I'm happy with it and I'm going to highlight both of them and I'm going to put them clicking on the yellow square. I'm going to have them in the middle. So when this is ready, we have to create another panel here. So I've got a square and I'm going to make it smaller. I need something very narrow and short. So I'm going to put it here. So when this is highlighted, I'm also going to highlight the black panel and do center. When I'm happy with it, I'm going to unclick and I'm going to add one more panel. And that will be the stand for the computer. So let's make it smaller. And I'm going to make it even narrower until I'm happy with it. When I'm happy, I'm going to click Shift and I'm going to click the smaller panel we created. And let's put center. And I'm going to highlight the black one as well and center again. And this time, everything is where we want. So I'm going to click on the fill color, choose the black color as well. And I'm also going to go to shapes on the right hand side. And I'm going to weld them together. So this time we have that one color. Let's go to the layers and let's put the shape at the top. So it is still there visible. Okay, so happy with it so far. But I really want this card to be very special. So to do it, I'm going to create one more circle. This time is going to be bigger. Let's say this way. Yes, I'm pretty happy with the curve. I'm going to make, okay, let's put the circle away for a second. I'm going to make the name of the recipient slightly smaller. Okay. And as you can see, it will be above the laptop. So let's click Shift and also the yellow square. And let's put them exactly in center. Okay, now click on the circle you created. And when you're happy where it should be, I'm going to click Shift as well. And that yellow square. And again, center. Okay, so we've got the circle exactly in the middle. Now, I'm going to go to shapes again, shapes, and here at the top, I'm going to use a rectangle. And I'm going to place it on the side and I'm going to make it slightly longer. You can also go to the side because we don't need it that big. And when I'm happy with it, I just need to check if it goes all the way down that I want. Okay, I'm going to click duplicate and I'm going to move it to the other side. So this way I can cut the ends of here and I will have very nice curve at the top. Okay, so let's move it slightly here and a little bit down. So now I'm going to click Shift, Circle, and that rectangle on the right, and I'm going to go here and divide. So let's have a look what we've got. So as you can see, I can move those panels on the left and on the right, and we can delete them. We don't need them anymore. And I'm going to delete this one as well. but I also need to delete the very bottom. So again, I'm going to go to a rectangle, move it to the bottom. Now I need to drag it a little bit wider than my panel here. Literally, that's the circle we created. So again, I'm going to click on that circle and divide again. So that should take all of this away for me. Let's have a look. Let's click on it. Delete, and that's what I've got. And I'm very happy with how it looks like. So now we're going to create a very nice panel. So I want a starburst here. So what I'm going to do, I need a circle. But before I do it, I'm going to duplicate this element here. So let's click here, duplicate, and I'm going to offset it. And again, inward as well. So we can have some, let's say, mats and layers. So this one, the bigger one, let's color it with dark blue. The second one, let's color it with white so we can actually see how they look like. Okay, let's group them together. Can we do it? Okay, so click on the white, click on the blue, then right click and group. So they'll always go together. If you want to move them on your panels, let's put them behind. So I can move my shape up, but also my laptop and all the other elements I want. And I need the name as well at the top so we can see. Okay, so I've got this panel and I'm going to offset it, so all the way down, 3.2 mil. And I'm going to color it with light blue color. Let's do it. Okay, so now I'm happy with it. And I'm going to put it to the side here. I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to work on it now. So as you can see, I put it at the very bottom and I'm going to show you why. What would be the reason? I'm going to create a circle. Oh, it always goes at the top. Always. Unless you drag it. So here it is. Here is my circle. I'm going to make it smaller. Okay, so I'm going to highlight both of them and I'm going to put them here just to make sure they'll be exactly where the laptop is. Okay, it is. So when I'm happy with it, I'm going to go to a triangle and drag it here. I'm going to make it narrower. And when I'm happy with it, I'm going to start placing it on my circle. So I'm happy with how it looks at the moment. I'm going to duplicate it and then I can move it. So as you can see, there is like a white circle here, which will enable me to rotate my elements. And that's exactly what I want. So I'm happy with the placement. I'm going to duplicate it again, put it on my circle and rotate using that white circle. And now I have to make it longer because I want this to be exactly what I want. I'm going to rotate this one a little bit more. Okay, I'm happy with it. I'm going to make this one slightly thicker and rotate even more. Okay, so when these elements are evenly spaced, let's say more or less, I'm going to duplicate that triangle again and rotate. So let's click on the triangle, rotate, and this time I need something like this here. So when I'm happy with where it is, I can rotate all the other ones until I'm happy with the placement and actually all the spaces in between them. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to move this one a little bit more. And this one. You can always play with it. Okay, when I've got those ready, I'm going to click on this one, hold the shift key and hold this triangle and this one here. So I've got three and I'm going to duplicate now and I'm going to move them here. And using that rotate circle, I'm going to move them like this. So I should have evenly spaced triangles again. Now, to make them even, I'm going to make this one bigger because that's what I need to create my card. If you want, you can always play with them and rotate even more. Okay. So now I'm going to duplicate them again. So I've got 1, 2, and 3, holding the Shift key. Let's duplicate and rotate. So I should have something like this. And I really want to match this triangle, the left triangle, with the right one. Okay, let's click off. And I'm pretty happy with it. So now I need probably 2 triangles. So I've got 1, holding the Shift key, and the second, duplicate. And let's rotate. Yeah, that's exactly what I needed. Okay, let's have a look. Looking pretty good so far. I like every single space I can see. So now I'm going to highlight all those triangles and the circle in the middle. And we're going to weld them because I want this shape to be just one shape. Okay, so go to shapes on the right and weld. Okay, so I'm happy with it, but now I want to cut that shape using that element we created. So I'm going to color it with light blue so you can actually see it. So I'm going to click on the green shape we created and holding the Shift key, I'm also going to click on the light blue shape we created. And this time I'm going to click divide. So let's have a look. What did I get? So that's exactly what I wanted. So with everything else, I can click and I can delete all those shapes. Happy with it? So let's put all those elements together. I think I've got one more panel here that I don't need, so I can delete it. Okay. So now I'm going to put those together and align them just to make sure they look really nice when I put them on a card. So let's group them. Okay. I'm happy with it, so go to the layers panel and then I can move the names at the top and also my laptop and the screen as well to the very top. Okay, so I'm happy with it. Now I want to make sure that all the elements will match. So instead of that light green, I really want, so you can click here, I really want dark blue as well to see how it's going to look on my card. Okay, and that, what color should I use here? Maybe leave it white here for the bigger shape. Let's leave it white and we'll see how it goes. Okay, now with the name, I also want the offset to be white. And the name of the recipient, I want dark blue. Okay, the name of the recipient, I want dark blue. Let's move it a little bit here. Okay, so that's how it looks like. And now I'm going to cut all those elements out using my ScanNCut machine. But first, I'm going to delete that yellow square because I don't need it. And I thought it would be a nice idea to add a few stars as well. And I'm going to cut slightly smaller stars with white color. So they will go on top of those some elements here. And I'm going to create a couple of them. So duplicate. I'm going to move them here just for visual reference at the moment. But later on, I can put them wherever I want, right? And what's really good about any shapes here, we can resize them. So clicking from the very corner, that's what I'm going to do. So duplicate and put it here. Okay, now when I'm happy with it, I'm going to send it to my ScanNCut machine and all the elements will be ready. So let's have a look how it's going to look like. So let's start with the biggest blue panel. And now I also have that white panel that will go on top. And to assemble all the elements of my cut, I'm going to use my one and only liquid glue, magic glue. And if you do create any projects like this, I do encourage you to use any liquid glue from your stash. As you can see, with those elements, they really match beautifully. And if you do want to create any personalized projects, I do encourage you to play with your Canvas Workspace if you have ScanNCut machine, because this way you can create any project that you like. And if you do enjoy my Canvas Workspace workshop, if you do have any suggestion for future videos, please leave those comments down below. I would absolutely would love to know what would you like to learn more. As you can see, now it is time to add the name of the recipient, and it is super simple. All I have to do is to actually adhere the letters on my shadow. And whenever you create that offset element, that is so easy. And you can do it with the numbers as well. So as you saw, I also use the computer element to create that offset but in Word. So you can always do it as well. So when this is ready, it will be time to assemble some of the elements. But at this point, I thought let's add even more interest to the computer. So what I can do here, with my smaller element, I can use any alcohol markers from my stash. If you don't have any gray color card, that would be the option for you. So that's exactly what I did. And as you can see, the screen fits really well on my computer. So I'm going to use BG4 Spectrum Noir alcohol marker. I'm coloring all the edges, and you always have to make sure that you color all the edges here as well, so you have that professional look. And in the middle here, I'm going to use lighter gray color, which means I'll have that nice blended effect. And that's what I really like about alcohol markers. Now it is time to embellish it even more, because it is a birthday cut in the end. So I use a cutting die from Crafter's Companion called Happy Birthday, and to be honest, this pretty old cutting die. And I cut it in half because it was one cut. But here, as you can see, you can personalize anything that you like. And what's really missing here, as you can see, I do have some space in the top right corner. So I'm going to use number cutting dies from my stash, and that was a free gift from one of the magazine couple of years ago, but I can use it over and over again. So as you can see, it came from Paper Crafter, and I use gold card from Hobbycraft, so this way I do have variation with the gold here as well. And that's what I really like about this card. And if you really like this workshop, if you please have any suggestions for future videos, what would you like to learn? Please leave that in the comments down below. Also wonder, how often do you create personalized cards? I really want that, because every single week I try to create at least one personalized project. I really like it because this way I have to stretch my creativity even more. So as you can see, we do have that beautiful shine from that gold. And now it is time to use double-sided foam adhesive for extra dimension. And as you can see, you can always cut it in smaller panels. So yes, you don't waste any of it, and you don't have to buy that very narrow tape, which means you'll save some money as well. And I also wonder, what do you think about this project? Do you like it? Would you like to give it a go? Maybe if you don't want to put computer in the center, you can put anything else from your stash. If you do have any beautiful design papers with flowers, that will go there beautifully in the middle as well. Now I'm using my pokey tool to peel off the backing of the tape, and again I'm going to use few drops of liquid glue, so this way I'll make sure that all the elements will be adhered forever. And if you haven't seen my video with my new collection, the link is at the top right corner, and I will also leave the link at the end of this video. So yes, you can check my new collection bottom as well. Now it is time to add those stars at the bottom, and the cut will be nearly complete. But all we have to do, we also have to add that white panel that will be the back of the card. And here I decided to add some dimension to the stars as well. So this way, this card will be even more special. And as you can see, it is for a teenage boy. So at this point, I decided not to use any gems. And I also wonder, how often do you create cards for teenagers? Do you have your favorite style? If you do, I would really like to know what it is. As you can see, it is super simple to create. So play with your Canvas workspace and you'll be amazed how many amazing projects you can create literally with no time, and then you can use them over and over again. All you have to do is to change the name of the recipient and maybe different color schemes. Now, using my scoring board, I created that one more panel exactly the same as the biggest blue panel. I have to fold and burnish that scoring line and put it with the front of a card. And this way our card will be complete. And I always use my liquid glue to put those elements together. What's really good about this card, you do have plenty of space to write your message inside, and it also stands proudly on a flat surface. And at this point, just make sure the glue is set completely before you move on to the next step. And this card goes easily in 7 by 7 inches envelope. So if you would like to give it a go, please let me know in the comments down below. I also wonder, how often do you use your Canvas workspace to create your projects? Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Have a wonderful day and see you in my next video. I really hope you like it. Bye for now. Happy crafting!